about rebranding. So if you are ready to rebrand or thinking about rebranding, this is a show for you. So how does rebranding factor into the success of your life and business? Let's go. Welcome. Remember that I am here with Caitlin, but you also are part of our conversation. So make sure that you leave comments and chime in, ask questions, answer questions. Let us know what you're thinking about rebranding today. All right, Caitlin, how are you doing today? I'm so happy to see you.
I'm good. Thanks for having me back. I love coming on here.
I love hanging out with you and talking about branding. So we are going to get to know you. So I'm going to ask you, why are you passionate about helping people build their brand using your zone of genius?
Oh man, I feel like I've just always my whole life I've loved being artistic and creative and using that side of my brain. And then I just really enjoy meeting new people and kind of helping them find a way to show up visually, online, in person, however it works with their brand. It just makes it lights me up that they get a logo, a logo that feels like them, that makes them confident to show up. My general design aesthetic is pretty simple. I think that there's so much beauty in simplicity. And so I really strive to find design solutions that are simple but not generic. It's like a very nice balance. And just really helping people with this piece that is hard for them but comes easy for me. I find inspiration everywhere. I just love helping people. I'm a nurturer by nature, so that's where it just is like a natural thing for me.
I totally get that. Being a photographer my whole life, it used to be kind of a joke if I would make people cry. Like that was my thing when people would come in to look at the proofs, because back in the day they would come look at hard copy proofs, and if I could get catch a little tear coming down where they're like, oh my god, I didn't know I looked that good, or bringing that out now with digital. And now that I don't really do portraits as much as headshots, being able to help people take their first impression to the next level and actually draw out the emotions that they were going for and catch the attention of the people they're trying to catch. It's like what you were saying. It's that it's just so exciting. And that's why I do what I do, is I love helping people and empowering them to take their marketing to the next level. So that's cool. I think I can relate 100% with that with you.
Yep. And that's just the foundation, your headshot, your branding, the physical, the visual piece. I know that the branding also includes messaging and stuff like that. That is also really key. But that visual of how, because we are a visual society, both of those, the headshot, the brand, cohesive, showing up, that's the foundation of everything else.
Yeah. It's if they're telling the same story, then they're working together. All right, let's get motivated. Why is rebranding important for professionals to thrive in their life and business? Why is rebranding important, and how often should we rebrand?
I like to say you should at least be aware of it every 2 to 3 years. I've been in business now a little over 2 years, and I'm currently rebranding myself. I'm going a little bit more bold, a little bit more streamlined. I kind of put together a logo to get started. As I tell potential clients, if you're not ready for a full investment, just get something started. And so that's what I live that. I started in October 2020. I slapped something together with my name on it. My brand is still going to be my name, Caitlin Henderson Creative, but now I'm really being intentional with the boldness that I want to bring forward and that confidence that I want to bring forward to my clients. And so I'm rebranding now after 2.5 years. And so I think that once the brand doesn't start to like feel like you anymore, and that's how I felt like I'd open up my website or I'd open up some collateral and it just didn't feel like me anymore. And it just like that like nagging feeling, you might not know exactly what it is that's bugging you. That's why you need to talk to me. But like if there's something that's bugging you about how it looks and feels to present your business card, to send your website, that might be a clue that it's time to take a look at what your brand is and where it's going, and if it still feels like you, or what kind of tweaks you can make. It could be let's throw the whole thing out and start over. It could just be like maybe we change the color palette, maybe we do smaller pieces to just give a refresh.
Yeah, I think that staying relevant in your business is always important, and that includes with your branding. If it makes you feel old and frumpy, maybe other people don't see it that way, but if it makes you feel that way, then it's hard for you to move forward in your business, because you almost feel like every time you see it. And we as business owners, we see our logos, our branding materials all the time. We read those words, we see this stuff all the time. So I think knowing, like, making sure that it still feels, makes you feel alive and makes
Mhm.
you feel vital and vibrant and relevant to the audience that you are trying to reach. I mean, in this digital age that we live in, things are always changing. So I feel like even though I've stayed with the same pretty much logo, it's evolved. Like I just like I just kind of,
Mhm.
it's kind of a fluid, it's kind of like, oh, and let's add this, and oh, that looks cool, just to kind of keep it alive, still saying the same thing, still being, definitely, that's my logo, but just, adding here and there. I think that's important. So that's awesome. All right, now let's get inspired. All right. How has rebranding been a problem for you in the past, and how did you overcome it? Oh, now we're talking about real life stuff. You're on
Mm.
the hot seat. You got to tell some real life stuff here. Where did you have a problem in your own business with
I
this?
think I think that the it's like the age old saying, working on your own stuff is the hardest. I could come in and give you a full rebrand probably like that. But for me, it's that over analysis of like, is this too simple? Which I would present to you as like, this is exactly what you need. Is this color too warm, too cold? Like I get really stuck in my head. And then, did I use too many colors? And so I think my first brand iteration was like a little too scattered, which is why I'm being really intentional in this new one. So yeah, it's just kind of trying to treat myself like I treat my clients is the hardest, because what's great for them doesn't feel good for me, or that so it's almost like designers hiring out other designers, because you can't see your own business with the kind of clarity that someone from the outside can.
This is adjacent to the story that I'm about to say. It actually is relevant, but this reminds me, when my older kids, they're like 28 and 30 now, but when they were like 9, 10, my son looked at me and he said, "Why are you always so mean to us when you take our pictures, and you're so nice to your clients?" My answer was, my clients listen to me. But in reality, it was that, I wanted my kids' portraits to be perfect. You want perfection for yourself. And not that you don't want perfection for your clients, but we're hardest on ourselves than we are on other people. So sometimes I
Mhm.
think it's a lot about just bringing compassion and love into your own brand and your own business, knowing that, like, you are a badass, like, this is awesome, like, instead of being so critical of every little thing. And I know I can feel Monica staring at me right now. I am definitely speaking to myself. But my producer's over here, and I can feel the glares. But it's true. We need to be compassionate to ourselves and realize that, we are awesome. And, a lot of times it is the hardest when we're doing it for ourselves and our own thing. And the other thing is that we get so busy that's the thing we're doing at 3 a.m. because we helped all of our clients all day and edited their stuff all night. And now, oh crap, I got to get this done for myself. So and that comes with compassion, like schedule time in your schedule for your branding. Make a time in your calendar. Okay, I worked on my client stuff. Now from 3 to 5, I'm working on my stuff or whatever it is, and actually put it in your calendar and make room for your own brand, I think is really important.
Yes. And I think that weekly and then at least quarterly, if not monthly, to also just kind of take a check of all of your assets. What do I need to create? What do I need to update? What, I think it's an ongoing piece. And again, your assets can be as simple as like a Google Doc you share with your like bullet points of what people need from you. It's just like revisiting that. Maybe, once a month would be extreme, but like at least once a year, check in with all like across the board.
And I know for me, I'm expanding my business, so it's rebranding and rebirth kind of mixed in, because now not only am I doing headshots, but I'm teaching photographers how to run their business. So it's like going into a new thing, which you have to put yourself back as a client. What does my client need? And always keep that checklist going to make sure that all of your branding materials in your rebranding process are every step of the way is getting done. And I like the idea of just keeping an ongoing checklist so that like, okay, now I changed this and I forgot to change this and this. So you kind of got to keep, because it's a big thing. We have so many different social platforms, websites, Calendarlies, all of our things. It can get really big. So keeping track, that's we're not even at the give advice point, but that was a good point. That was a good tip. I'm like taking mental note of that one. That's funny. All right. Now it's time to, who should we talk to about branding and rebranding? And I feel like I'm looking at who I would recommend to talk to would be Caitlin. Like, you should talk to Caitlin. Obviously, she's already throwing out tips and it's not even time for that. So Caitlin, who do you think we should network with? Who do you think we should talk to when we are rebranding our business?
I think that, speaking with a brand designer always helps. There's a little bit of checking in with your peers, with people that you could trust that might have outside, like, they might not be brand designers, but they might be like, hey, like I sent my rebrand to my friend who is not anywhere near the branding world. And I asked, does this feel like me? You know me well, that kind of thing. Just kind of like, and like, do you get what I'm trying to go with here? And, she said yes, so that I know I'm on the right track. So it doesn't always have to be someone who's an expert, though an expert helps. But that gut check of someone who knows you well, even if they serve different audiences or have a different brain, like mindset kind of skill, that's always great. But the caveat is, don't ask too many people, because everyone has an opinion and you don't need to listen to everybody. So be careful with who you ask. And also ask yourself, jump on Pinterest, jump on Google Images, search for things and like pull ideas that like get a reaction in your gut.
I like that. I'm a big listen to my gut kind of a person. Like, I will ask you for your opinion, but if my gut's telling me something else, I'll be like, okay, I hear that. And I understand this may be a problem down the line, but we're jumping with this. This is where we're going. I think my advice as who to talk to about your branding is your potential clients. And by talk to them, I don't mean like actually ask them. I mean, where are they hanging out? What kind of things are they looking at? What do you see in their social media? Like, who are they following? What is the, not even trend, but what are you seeing as a common theme, which I guess would technically be a trend. But where are they hanging out? What are they doing? And how, what language are they speaking? And then make sure that you are relevant and speaking that language with them. And don't be afraid to make sure you have at least one friend that will tell you about the spinach in your teeth. Like, yes. Have that friend that's like the mirror, the one that's going to be like, you missed it on this one, Peggy. back to Photoshop. See us, try it again. Okay, me too. I ask for opinions, but I don't always use them. Sometimes you have to consider the source, and not just consider the source, but trust in yourself too. Consider the source. But if you're asking someone, hey, I really want to know your opinion, and then you still don't take it, drives my husband crazy, because I'll ask him for his opinion. I'll be like, that was a good point. And I do take his advice, but I apply it to what I was already going to do. I'm like, oh, that pitfall, I'm going to work around there. He's like, why did you ask me? And I was like, it was good. It was useful. I just, anyway. So yes, absolutely. Ask people and look around and trust yourself. I think that was a couple of the things, was literally trust yourself would be a really good thing as well. Mm-hmm. All right, now it's time for our speed round. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
You're already throwing nuggets out there with wisdom. So now is your one tip to build your brand by focusing on rebranding. Okay, I like the way this question was asked. Build your brand by focusing on rebranding. Caitlin, you're up.
I don't want to sound like a repetitive. It is just kind of like, look around. I think that if you're going to start a rebrand, you start being more in tune with what you like or don't like from other brands. Again, not necessarily in your niche, in your skill set, but Pinterest, like I said, is just like a great spot to just browse and again, feel that gut check. And just also thinking of ways that you can push your brand more. And so one of the things I've started to think about pushing for my clients and putting in packages that I'm putting together is all of the places that like you can brand, like your Google Doc template, your email signature. Turn your email signature into a lead magnet where there's a like link to download your freebie, like all the ways that you can kind of keep expanding and just have a running list of ways that you could take your like visual piece that I designed for you and where it can go. Because it can go, like we were saying earlier, social media platforms, your Facebook photos, your cover photos, all of those things. And when you rebrand, you have to go back and find every profile you've made. So that running list is just like a way to really start letting the sky be the limit with a rebrand of what you can do new, better, and different this time around.
And I agree with everything you said. I'm going to take that question and I'm going to come at it at a different angle, because the question was, what is your one tip to build a brand focusing on rebranding? And I feel like that's kind of what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to take it from that. Like, I'm building a brand while rebranding my current brand. Like, I'm adding to it, and I feel like as entrepreneurs, like, we're always growing in the services we offer, in the things that we do. And usually those things come out of necessity. It's something that we needed. And we're like, oh, well, since I've solved this problem, let me help you solve this problem too. And so as we're branding ourselves as that, and we're kind of rebranding, it's kind of rebranding branding. I think we can think about what we really offer, because sometimes we limit ourselves. We're doing all these things, but we're not telling our potential audience that we're doing those things. So we need to consider that in our rebrand, that, hey, and also we do this, and also I can help you with this. So I think I kind of wove that into the question. I'm not sure if that's exactly what the question was, but that's my answer. That's just the answer I'm sticking to.
I like it.
I'm sticking to it. You can't do anything about it, because I think we do limit ourselves a lot. Do you see that with yourself, Caitlin? I mean, you probably do, you're known for branding, but you solve other problems as well. And you could be offering those solutions to your clients.
Yeah, I think about that a lot, where as my clients are similar in being like a solopreneur, is like how much I'm mastering ClickUp and how much I organize my Google Docs and like things like that are not in any, but again, like that's how you're showing up, and that's your brand as a whole, is like how organized you are, or if like how confident you are in your systems and processes and things like that are outside of like, here's a great logo for you.
So what I heard you say is you do a lot of things and you should be teaching a get shit done session in the Minkubator with MinkLife is what I heard. That's what I heard.
All right, if that's what you heard.
That's what I heard. I think that, and if anybody watching and you don't know what a get shit done session is, I'm just going to like, before we even get into announcements, I'm going to just plug the get shit done thing. It's you come and hang out for an hour and like hands on here. I'm going to show you how to do this. And you're doing along the way. So, anyway, make sure as we get into our announcement section that you actually look at all the things that MinkLife Motivation offers, because we're getting shit done around here and we would love for you to come hang out with us. So with that said, let's do announcements. Yay! Announcements. No, I'm not going to sing for you. I might have to sing. I think they're waiting for me to do my single there. Oh, Caitlin, tell us what you have going on right now.
So I am offering a free consultation where I have an intake form that gets you starting to think about your brand, gives me some information, no obligation. If you want to just kind of tell me a little bit about a potential project that's in your head, again, sky's the limit. And then we can get on a call and just kind of chat it out and see where we're going and give you some options and some ideas. I think that every consultation I have ends up walking away with some tips because I can't help myself. So I'd love to just get to know people that are in my space, in my world, and just potentially how I can help you.
I saw that you were like throwing tips out there like all the time. So I love that. So I would love to chat with you. Schedule a free consultation and let's talk about how to use your headshot as one of the biggest parts of your marketing strategy. You can just go to headshotstrategist.com and click on Let's Chat. All right. I look forward to hanging out with you. Now let's get into the other announcements.
Okay, so if you've enjoyed the show today and you want to join the conversation, you can join us every single week as we are here on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Pacific time, where if you want to watch the show on the go or listen to the show on the go, we are in all the places that you can podcast. So Apple Podcast, you have your iHeartRadios, all the places that you love to listen, you can be there. If you want to be on the show, we are always looking for amazing people to join the conversation. You're just going to go to MinkLife Motivation /live and sign up to be on the show. We'd love to have you share your expertise. And coming up is our
calling all dynamic speakers. So many people are struggling. Together we have the power to create a global impact. We are looking for dynamic speakers to partner with us in our mission to help millions live healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled. We need speakers in 4 areas of expertise: personal development, business development, brand development, network development. Apply today at nextglobalvirtualconference.com.
Yes. If you have never been a part of these conferences, you need to get involved. And if you want to be a dynamic speaker, make sure you apply today because it is an amazing opportunity to network, show your zone of genius, and get tons and tons of tips along the way. Well, Caitlin, I think we did it. This has been a great show. Yay. Thank you.
Yay.
All right. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific and watch us live. 1 p.m. Oh, with Monica. This is what happens when we do live. Monica is going to be moderating the show tomorrow. So it is going to be amazing. All right. We'll see you guys soon. Bye, Caitlin. Thanks.